Hi, and welcome to Random Rogers Big Picture for the week of January 18th, or I guess it's the 17th. I wanted to talk a little bit about something I read on a Felix Salmon post. He was citing some article from Malcolm Gladwell, and in it Gladwell was doing some sort of feature on Paulson, but talked a little bit about money managers in general, and he said one thing that I thought was relevant. Basically along the lines of the pressure that people feel to manage other people's money. He had a quote in there about the happiest of us are those who work for ourselves, and then Salmon goes to counter that and saying, well, he knows plenty of people who are, managers of other people's money in some capacity, and they're not particularly happy people. Something about the pressure of managing other people's money. And so I think this is a relevant thing to talk about, because most people don't have a great experience in managing or navigating through the stock market. I want to talk a little bit about that. There are certain, maybe they're immutable laws, but whatever, certain things that never change. One of them is that the stock market has a down year every so often. Depending on what you read, I believe it to be 72% of the time the market's up, so by extension 28% of the time it's down. But whatever, every few years it has a down year. When the market is down, a fully invested portfolio should go down. It very likely will go down. So if you're fully invested and the market has a down year, you are going to go down. There is no getting around that. Okay, the other tie-in here is you as a manager, whether it is you managing your own money or managing other people's money, whatever, you are going to have a bad year, and however it is that you define a bad year, whether it's in relative terms or absolute terms, or if you want to use the word nominal, occasionally, give me 1 second, Pee-wee's typing up. Pee-wee, all done. You're going to have a bad year. This will not change. I talked earlier in the week about Bill Miller, and he had a couple of horrendous years, which undid years of work. These things will not change. The market has a down year every so often, and you will have a bad year. If you can wrap your hands around these facts, or the understanding that this will not change for as long as you are alive, then it should remove the emotion completely out of the equation. And if you start to think in these terms, then I believe it minimizes the chance that you do something that is really, really stupid. Really stupid, like selling out after a big decline. I made this comment before, market's down, 30 or 40%, and if you need to throw one name to the gods, you think, to make the market go up, which obviously is very irrational thinking, yeah, go ahead and do it. But if you're talking about wholesale dumping of stocks after a 30 or 40% decline, you're doing something truly stupid. The better thing is to have some sort of exit strategy that gets you out a little closer to the top. But so avoiding the truly stupid takes on more importance, and if you're not in an emotional state, or if you've reduced the likelihood that you're going to be in an emotional state, then you have a better chance of avoiding doing something truly stupid. And this is how I come at it. I feel no pressure to manage money. I know that there are going to be years that I lag the market. Looking at the last full cycle, there were a couple of years where I lagged. There were a couple of years where I was like exactly on, give or take a tenth or something like that, and a couple of years where I outperformed. The two that I outperformed were meaningful, though. This is old news, but 2008, I wasn't down anywhere near as much as the market. 2000, I think it was 7. The market was up 3-point-something% at the dividend, 5-point-something. I was up about in the mid-teens is what I was up, versus mid-single digits. That and avoiding down a lot, which has been the goal. If you've been with me from day one, you know that's a big goal. That led to really pretty dramatic outperformance over the whole cycle. And it's not, that's not a boast. It's a, if you've been with the blog for a while, it's a continuation of what I set out to try and do. Sarah Pear talks about 75-50. Maybe that's a good way to describe it. Maybe it's not. I'm not sure. But again, avoiding down a lot, it to me is a much easier path, and also it helped with clients. Got to throw the chocolate. It helped with clients avoid freaking out. It minimized. Let's put it this way: it minimized the number of clients that did freak out. I can think of 2 who really got worried, but maybe there were more, and I need to find out about them. But But if you focus on these things, it should make the task, much easier to do. As I sit here now, I know that in the future there will be years that I lag the market, and I know that there will be years that the stock market goes down. Will not change ever. But if I can avoid doing truly stupid, so can you. If I can avoid the full brunt of down a lot, so can you. Anyone, the stuff that I talk about is pretty simplistic, I think. All right, that's it. No camera operator, so I'm going to walk around to the video. But that's it. Have a good weekend.